Alright, so welcome to the first episode of Randy Man's Hangout. Your host, El Primo Andy. So now in this first episode of the podcast that I'm gonna be, trying to see if I can make more content, there was some topics I want to go over. And here's one way I want to kick it off is with about the Cuban protest, the SOS Cuba movement. So apparently there's been these things going on in Cuba. The hospitals don't have enough beds. The government isn't accepting any help that they're being offered. Other countries are offering to help Cuba, but Cuba's being the fucking dictators being selfish. No, I don't want your help. And now the people are fed up with it and say, what, we're done. Fuck you. Estamos ya harto. So they're protesting now. People are dying. The fucking cops are pulling kids out of their homes so that they can join the military and fight against these protesters. I mean, it's a shit show out there. And I mean, it's all crazy. And excuse me, it reminds me of of how last year when it was the BLM protests for George Floyd, because to those that don't know what the BLM protests were for or how it even started, it was when George Floyd, once he died because Derek Chauvin pulled him over, and then things went south and George Floyd died. And then after he died, Minneapolis got crazy and started looting stores. People were protesting everywhere. Every fucking city everybody was protesting. They were rioting too. People were robbing stores. They were doing all sorts of shit. It was a nasty mess. It got pretty ugly. And then pretty much the fucking protests were nuts. But okay, the protests, yeah, they were for Black Lives Matter. But I mean, if George Floyd never died and he was still alive till this day, I wouldn't see how he would have died. But shit, man. And that reminds me that nowadays people, ever since that, after that, there's been a shift in society, because now people have been all different, because now who knows, a certain amount of things can be considered racist. You got people making up new terms and adding phobic at the end of it. There's fat phobic, and I mean, thing is, okay, I'm a fat person, I'm chubby, but fat phobia, it's not a real thing. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not a real thing, because they're only using the word fat phobia so that that they make it innocent, and oh yeah, you're being fat phobic if you talk shit about me. Like, no, you're fat and you're trying to make it look like it was a good thing that you're fat or something. Fat phobia doesn't exist. You can't be fat phobic. And then then there's body shaming. There's a certain majority of people that that, okay, they're against body shaming, but the second that you do not say someone's pronouns, you got some girl coming from the other side of TikTok saying, oh, you got a small dick, and at the same time they're saying, oh, go body positivity, like promoting it. I mean, I don't fucking get it. And people nowadays, they're fucking crazy, man, because now you had people protesting or trying to get to change the syrup bottle. I think it was called Aunt Jemima. They wanted to switch Aunt Jemima syrup from Aunt Jemima to the Pearl Milling Company, and now it got switched to a Pearl Milling Company. And then then there was I think it was a box of butter. It was called, I forgot, I never knew the name, but it was a box of butter, and on the front there was a native lady, and people got pissed, and then they took out the lady and kept the land. And I mean, it's dumb. You're gonna take out a Native American lady and you're gonna keep the land, just like they did back then when they were conquering this country. Take the natives, keep the land. That's what it kind of reminds me of. But I mean, I'm pretty much a different person, because there are those who grew up with common sense and those who didn't. those who didn't think with that and think that anything would be considered racist, and then there are those who grew up with common sense that think that some things are not considered racist. But that's how time is now. Just I prefer that just go back to early 2000s where things were simpler, people were better, things were calmer, everybody was having such a good fucking time. But I mean, now it's a fucking shit show. Generation Z, fucking fat hell, man. I can't stand it. I'm a part of Generation Z myself. I was born in 05, so I mean, I fall under the Gen Z, but I'm part of the Gen Z that have common sense and that's more relaxed than the others, and that don't start bitching about what is racist and what isn't racist. But I mean, that's just me. And then there are those who grew up with watching Family Guy, because Family Guy makes risky ass fucking jokes. South Park as well. American Dad. You got a bunch of these fucking shows that make really risky jokes, but they've Family Guy has had the most fucking cancellations, yet they come back better than ever. But now they're starting to dim down the jokes because of how this generation is nowadays. Back then they made a shit ton of jokes, and now I mean, I think a long time ago, or weeks ago, months ago, they announced, oh yeah, there's gonna be no more gay jokes in Family Guy because of how the Generation Z is now with the gay jokes and the bi jokes and everything. But I mean, it's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. But then during the protest of the BLM protest, people were blocking roadways, and I don't understand. You're gonna protest in the name of someone, but why are you gonna block the roadways? I mean, I've seen videos of people blocking the roadways for their protests. There was a video once where someone tried to stop an 18-wheeler, and they stopped it, and they were trying to take the shit that was inside the trailer. It was a FedEx truck, so someone tried it, but the trucker drove off, but someone got dragged by the trailer. They got roped in and got dragged underneath the trailer. So they were moving, and the trailer was dragging them. They were fucking dead. And I mean, you know what? You play stupid games, you're gonna get stupid prizes. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, people don't have common sense now. Some of these people are fucking stupid. I mean, if I'm gonna do a protest, I'm gonna make sure it's a good cause. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna do it properly. I'm not gonna go on the fucking roadways and stand right in the fucking middle and say, hey, stop, we're protesting for fulano, and just, I mean, nah, I can't do that. I'll stand on the sidewalk or something, or somewhere safe, and I'll protest, but you're not gonna see me in the middle of a fucking road. But I mean, when the protests were going on, I don't know what people had with truckers, because I mean, there was this one truck driver that he was on, I think it was in NY, I am not quite sure, and they tried to stop him, and pretty much they did pretty much stop him, but I think he got through. I'm not sure. Maybe he got through, maybe he didn't. But he was hauling a tanker, and I think it was with probably a milk tanker or a gasoline tanker. But either way, they fucking stopped and they started beating the truck. I mean, it was pretty bad, and it reminded me of, I think it was in the 90s when there were protests going on in Los Angeles, and there was one truck driver. They stopped him. He dragged him out of his truck and fucking beat him. I think they beat him to death. I'm not quite sure. Frankly, I don't care. But the situation was pretty fucking crazy. It was pretty fucking crazy. And I mean, shit's just crazy now. And then when you compare the protest to Cuba's protest, the Cubans, they're fighting for something, and I'd say that they're progressing. And now recently in a city, and let's say a city called Camagüey, the fucking cops are now on the sides of the protesters. Now they're joining them. So now you got the governmental people of this city that are now with the protesters. I mean, that's one city down. You got the rest to go. You got Havana. You got a bunch of other cities to go. But I mean, the fucking dictator, when it was first starting, they said the dictator, well, the president Miguel Diaz-Canel, he said, "Yo, I mean, we're gonna send down people down there. We're gonna get you. We're gonna kill you if we catch you protesting. Because I mean, it's communism. It's a dictatorship. You try protesting, you're gonna get killed." Dude, right on the spot. And I saw a picture of this kid. His fucking face was all fucking bloody. Oh my god, because they fucking beat him alive. Because, you know, that's how it is. If you join the protest, you're gonna get your ass beat. But there were some occasions where, you know, even if they weren't protesting, they got their ass beat. And it's pretty fucking unfair. But what I don't like is that, okay, this shit has been going on for 61 years. About 61 or more, I don't know. It's been going on for years. And now that the protests are going on, it's now that they're talking about it. I mean, why are you going to talk about something that's been going on for so long? You choose now that the protests are trending. Now that it's trending, you talk about it. You could have talked about it last year. You could have talked about it 2 years ago. You could have talked about it 3 years ago. But why now? Why not before? Because, you know, they're treating it like a fucking trend. Because once it's over, they forget about it. They forget it ever happened, and they move on with their lives and stop posting of, oh yeah, we need to help the Cubans, we need to help this and that. They treat it as a fucking trend. And it was the same thing with the Black Lives Matter protests. It stopped. People stopped talking about it. And, you know, I never saw much of people posting of the police brutality victims. And, you know, when speaking about Black Lives Matter, I think in some cities they were erecting statues for George Floyd, and the thing is that I see that as really, really unnecessary. Because I mean, why are you gonna give a man a statue? You're gonna give him a statue, but I mean, why? This George Floyd wasn't a saint. Let's be real. This man was not a saint. He doesn't deserve a statue. That's all I'm gonna say. He does not deserve a statue. Call me what you want, but my point stands. He does not deserve a fucking statue. If you're gonna give him a statue, give Breonna Taylor a statue. Then give the other police brutality victims a statue. George Floyd wasn't a saint. Okay, he's had quite the music career. He's had quite the drug career, but he wasn't a saint. He wasn't an angel, and he really doesn't deserve a statue. And then, you know, people would be getting pissed right now at me for saying that. Oh no, you're a racist, you're uneducated. No, I know what I'm talking about. And then, you know, then these exact people would go on and fantasize about criminals. And, you know, this reminds me that this situation happened about a couple months back when there was this man in prison. There was this African American male. He was in prison for murder. Well, no, he was a part of a murder, an accessory to murder, basically, in a crime in the 90s. He killed a couple, a Christian couple. Well, it's like from what I have read, he lit the car on fire after the couple was in there basically dead, and he was sentenced to death. And then, you know, 3 days before his death, because, you know, he was on death row, and he had like 3 days left in prison before he was sent to death row. I mean, just to get killed. And 3 days before that is when they started talking about oh, yo, free him, he doesn't deserve to be in prison. I mean, you have an accessory to murder. He lit the car on fire, but you think he's innocent. You think he shouldn't be in jail when he pretty much should. He participated in that incident. Now they're dead. That couple, they're dead. And now this man's dead too. I mean, if you're gonna talk about it a month prior or 2 months prior. Try to get some support, which pretty much shouldn't happen. I mean, you really shouldn't be trying to get support for this man to get him out of prison for something that he did in the 90s. I mean, yeah. Because the only reason, here's what I'm thinking. The only reason that they thought that he was innocent and should be out of jail was because he was an African American. If it was a white guy that was in prison for the same exact crime in the 90s, they would say, oh, no, keep him there. He's an asshole. Fuck him. But since he was an African American, they think, oh, you know, free him. He's fucking innocent. Free him. And then these people as well, you know, they fucking sexualize so many shit, because nowadays you got people sexualizing Jeffrey Dahmer, Richard Ramirez, Ted Bundy. oh, they were so hot, I will let him kill me. No, you wouldn't. If one of these people were in front of you, fixing to fucking kill you, you would not be saying, kill me, please. You know, you would be probably begging for your life, because you wouldn't want to be sucking his dick. Trust me, you wouldn't want to be sucking this man's dick. You would be scared shitless if a fucking murderer fixing to kill you was right in front of you. I mean, it's fucking stupid now, because, I mean, now people have changed. Over the course of time till now, people have greatly changed. And then, you know, these people, they're fucking nuts. They're crazy. And, I mean, what's getting them to that? I mean, yeah, you know they're a murderer, but you want to sexualize them. You think, oh, he's so fucking hot. I mean, what's wrong? I mean, why exactly are you sexualizing? I mean, yeah, just there's no reason why you should be sexualizing a fucking murderer. And same thing, you know, with that, I think is the LGBTQ. They've had their pretty fair share of craziness, because you know during Pride Month there was a lot of people, you know, being negative, and then there's the percentage of being popular, but then, you know, there's a certain majority that makes the rest look bad. Because I saw a video once of a public baptism where, you know, there was this guy, he's trying to get baptized, but then, you know, he got ambushed by all these people, a part of the LGBTQ, and they just started fucking it up completely, you know, throwing confetti, shooting shit, interrupting it completely, interrupting a religious moment. Yet, I mean, why? I mean, okay, they're Christians, but why do you have the need to intervene with what the fuck's going on? I mean, yo, leave the person alone. I mean, they're not doing anything wrong. I mean, they're trying to live their lives. Yeah, you're only fucking it up for them. I mean, come on, man, leave them alone. I mean, yeah, you got your Pride Month, and they got their religious moment. They don't interrupt you. These people wouldn't dare interrupt you in your moment. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. If they're gonna do the religious thing, and you're gonna do your gay, bisexual, or whichever it is, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna be doing your thing, and they're doing their thing, and none of y'all should be interfering with each other's moment. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. But then, you know, you got I think it was a while ago, I think it was in Pride Month, where a man refused to switch out his American flag for the gay flag, and I think he was a food vendor. They fucking beat this man badly. They beat him badly. I mean, it's fucking sad. I mean, yeah, you got a man who won't switch out the flag and put a gay flag, but I mean, there's no reason to beat him. Leave the man alone. Like, yo, if he has an American flag and doesn't want to switch it out, leave him alone. There's really no reason to start pressuring this man and bitching why he should have the gay flag instead of why he should have the gay flag instead of the American flag. It's fucking stupid. But then, you know, about the American flag, there's a certain majority amount of people that take this country for granted, and then, you know, oh, this is the worst country. Like, no, it isn't. This is one of the best fucking countries you could live in. If you were born here, it's because your parents chose the right country to bring you in. You won the fucking lottery to be born in this country. This is one of the best countries. There are other countries that are good. My guess is, I know, New Zealand. I don't know any other country that would be better. But I mean, there's probably a list that says, yeah, there's these countries that, you know, that are just like America and how good they are. But I mean, yeah, each country has its fair share of negativity. I mean, this country was racist from the beginning of the country to now. I mean, there's still racism going on. It's always been an ongoing issue. I don't think it's ever gonna stop. It's never gonna stop. It's fucking racism. It's always been a thing ever since slavery, even before. Once it all happened, once racism started happening more often, it was never ending, and there's not a chance it's gonna end now. But I mean, yeah, this country has its negativity and has its positivity, but really, it isn't the worst country. It isn't a country that's so bad that you wanna leave it. I mean, if you wanna leave, go ahead. I'm not gonna stop you. Go somewhere else that's gonna treat you better, I guess. But I mean, I don't know any other country that would treat you just as good as this country. This country, the America, the US of A, is the best fucking country to live in. And some take it for granted. And there are those who think, capitalism is bad, this and that, and they want communism, and they want socialism. But why would you want communism? Why would you want socialism if you've seen what the fuck it does to countries? Look at China, look at Russia, look at Cuba, look at them. That's communism, that's fucking socialism. And if you want it to happen, go see for yourself. Go to the country for yourself and experience communism, so that this is communism, this is socialism. They talk about it, yet they have never experienced it. I experience communism usually once a year because I go to Cuba for 3 months. I go to Cuba for 3 months to visit my family. And in those 3 months, I live the life as if I was born there. I live in a basic house. I live in a basic neighborhood, kind of a rundown neighborhood, but it's kind of good. So it's a 50-50. But the thing is that it's not the best place. It's not a country you want to live in forever. But then there's people that want to live in it because of the aesthetic of the fucking 50s cars. These cars are here because after the embargo, they weren't gonna get a fucking Camaro, they weren't gonna get a Ford Mustang, they weren't gonna get any new fucking car from America because they were a communist country. Because after Fidel Castro overthrew the government in the 50s or the 60s, and then Fidel Batista left, that's when it shifted from a capitalist country to a communist country. And you know how America is, they're so fucking anti-communist that this is an embargo. And if they said, I think they said this, you could fact check this if you want, but I think they said, if you try to help that communist country, there's gonna be war. And then the only countries that I can expect are helping Cuba is China, Japan, no, I think China, Russia, and that's almost about it, because there are all these communist, maybe North Korea, I don't know, but there are all these communist countries, helping each other. And then it's just that it's fucking stupid. But if Cuba were to become capitalist, if they were to to change everything, follow the people, and communism and dictatorship, go with presidency and all that shit, and become a communist country. If you become a communist country, things will prosper for you. Cuba was doing so good with Fidel Batista, but I need to look up some more info on why exactly did Fidel Castro want to overthrow the government? He promised the Cuban people a better lives for them. He said, I will give you a better life. Yet he gave them misery, because now almost not on a daily basis, but usually when the stores are fresh with meat, they just got a new shipment of meat, you got a big fucking crowd of people in front of the doors ready to go inside and buy it, because there's not usually meat. And same thing with chicken. Chicken is not that much available, even though that almost everyone in the fucking country breeds chickens. Everyone almost breeds chickens. But some of them only do it for, just to get eggs, and then some do it to get some food. But then, usually, the stores are always packed. And they have a money system called CUC and CUP. So CUP is pesos, and then CUC is let's just say dollars. And I'm gonna show you a Cuban pound. This is a Cuban pound. I'm gonna show you a CUP. That you may not see it, but just that un peso. This is a peso convertible. You can't see them. Excuse for the fucking bad quality. I got a new webcam coming up on the way. But this is a peso convertible, meaning that if you put this into the bank, they will give you 25 pounds back. But the thing is that isn't good. 25 pounds, that's fucking trash. It's dirt. You take $1 American, you get 25 pounds. You take this, you get 25 pounds. It's fucking terrible over there. The economy is so fucking messed up. And I mean, just imagine fucking up the economy so bad that you want to go with a two money type system. Yeah, there's going to be CUP and CUC. We can use whichever, but I mean, it's harder to come by CUC. It's easier to come by CUP, but I mean, regardless, the economy is shit over there. It's fucking terrible, and I don't know why people would want to live over there. They said this country, oh, it's a racist country, it's bad, there's crime. Every fucking country has had its fair share of crime. They've had its fair share of racism too. There's not one country that's perfect, no matter what. That there's not a country that has 0% crime, 0% racism, 0% of anything. There's no country that is perfect, and I genuinely mean that. Seriously, there is no country that is perfect. And I mean, when you want to choose a country to live in, I'd say go to America. It's a good country. They call it the land of opportunity. You can go to college, you can get a degree, you can become a doctor, you can become anything, and you can be a fucking millionaire. Hell, if you want, don't go to college. Make your own business, and if possible, be a fucking millionaire. You be a millionaire, you're living the life. Do it like, well, Jordan, I was gonna tell you, do it like Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street, but his tactics were a bit different. He became a millionaire illegally because, so to those that don't know who Jordan Belfort is, Jordan Belfort was basically this stockbroker who, he had his own company called, I think it was Stratton Oakmont, and he had first started in Wall Street, but then after the stock market crashed, after things went bad, they kicked him out, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna try myself. So what he would do basically is that, okay, he would call someone and say, hey, you want to buy a stock at this company, and then he would falsely advertise it. He would say, so this was one of the scenes from the movie. He says, oh, there's this company called Radio Brothers, some shit. They're a high-tech company, really big place, producing state-of-the-art radio technology, making it sound like a big company. But in reality, it was a small fucking shack, and the one who owned the company was the fucking mother. So, I mean, he made money off of this, falsely advertising this stock so that big people can buy stocks for it. They can pay for the shares, and, they got all the money off of it. I mean, that's what he did. He became a fucking millionaire. Maybe a fucking billionaire. I mean, I forgot. But I mean, that's how the man did it. But like I'm saying, you come to this country, you can do whatever you can do. You can be rich. You can do whatever. Maybe illegally, if it gets you money, or legally, because if you do it regardless if it's legally or not, if it's legal or not, you can still become a fucking millionaire. And I mean, once you become a millionaire, you're living the life. But I mean, for me, I don't see myself as a millionaire. I see myself more as get a basic job, have a basic living, steady income, and just maintain yourself from there. And I mean, now I'm usually working now. I work at a fucking McDonald's from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. earning $9 an hour. And I work about 48 hours a week, because I work from Sunday to Friday, and that's, so let's say 4 hours times 6 days, it's like 24 hours a week. And then put 24 plus 24 for next week, it's 48 hours, and I earn $9 an hour. And I mean, I can't really, for my first paycheck that I got 2 weeks ago, it was $238. It was a decent paycheck, but if I was trying to make a living off of that, I can't make a living off of that. And I mean, I'm trying to get a better job now. I'm trying to apply somewhere else, because I want to, once I get my actual license, I want to try to get emancipated. And for those who don't know, emancipation is basically where if you get emancipated, you're legally able to move out of your house. So I mean, you can go to an apartment, the cheapest apartment if you want, or I want a room. I'm emancipated now. Okay, let's see if you. I mean, to get emancipated, you have to prove that you're able to maintain yourself financially, have a steady income, paying your car insurance. You can pay the apartment. I can just basically prove that you can be independent financially, and you'll be the only one who's paying the bills. And I mean, I don't fucking like McDonald's. Okay, I don't like McDonald's. It's fucking terrible. It's a terrible fucking job. I mean, there are those who know if you're really looking to earn money, I mean, shit, if you want, go to McDonald's. But I mean, is that I prefer a job, stocking shelves or something. I mean, I'm not sure, but I don't like, I don't like the job because what I do is that I prepare the food. I go to I work in the kitchen part. So basically, I stand right here, and in front of me there's a shelf with like 6 slots, and there's like 3 trays. 3 trays can almost fit in each slot. And there's the round egg, there's the McGriddles. They're like little pancakes with blueberry in them, I think. And then there's the folded egg. And then there's a scrambled egg. And then there's a sausage. There's the biscuit. There's the muffin. I mean, usually what I do is that I just prepare the food. I have a little screen that's on, and it says, one sausage McGriddle. So okay, put the paper, muffin, cheese, sausage, muffin on top, wrap it up, send it over. That's what I usually do. I just usually prepare the food and send it off. And then in some cases when I'm not preparing the food, I spend my time, stocking the little shelves with the food. But the thing is that I have to work fast. I have to work fucking fast. I have to work fast, and I don't like that. I don't like having to work in a fast-paced environment because, I can't function properly when I'm told to work under fucking pressure. I mean, I don't like that, okay? I don't fucking like that. But, if I never had a car, my car, it's a Dodge Challenger. It's a 2015 it's a 2015 Dodge Challenger RT Shaker, and the insurance is pricey. It's like 200 something, and the only reason why I have a job is to pay for car insurance. And if I never had that car, and I still have my old pickup truck, because before this car, the car I have now, I had a pickup truck. I had a 2003 Ford F-150. It was a good truck. It was a nice pickup truck. It was reliable. It was nice. But I sold it and I bought myself a Dodge Challenger. And so if I never had this car and I still have my pickup truck, I maybe wouldn't have a job right now, or I would. But I'm trying to find a job at a better place. I'm trying to apply at Home Depot or McDonald's. I'm trying to find, McDonald's. I'm trying to apply at Home Depot or Walmart. At someplace better, because what I want to do is that I want to stock the shelves, because that's pretty much where you're most relaxed. You're just putting shit in the shelves, and that's what I like most to do. Just put the shit in the shelves, and that's it. Because I don't want to deal with people. Okay, I don't want to deal with customers. Because, there's going to be that one fucking customer who has a fucking complaint, and then they start bitching, and it becomes a whole fucking mess. I don't like that. Okay, it stresses me out, and I'm going to start screaming and then probably lose my job. I don't like that, okay? I don't like having to work. I mean, let's say I don't like having to every fucking day be in contact with customers. I don't like that, okay? I fucking hate it. And so, I'm just, I'm trying to live a fast-paced, not a fast-paced environment. Sorry about that. I'm not trying to live in a fast-paced job. I want to live, somewhere more relaxed. Stock the shelves, do this and that, the simple shit. But I mean, it is what it is. Pretty much, it is what it is. But I mean, let's say, okay, so for me, McDonald's is a terrible job. But for some others, they would love to work there. They would love to work there. I don't like it, because I just don't like it. But there are others who, if you're looking to get a job there, you work there, you go there. So I mean that's all pretty much I'm gonna say. Yeah, you want a job? Maybe McDonald's will be a good option for you. That's if you like working in a fucking fast food restaurant. That's up to you, okay? It's up to everyone. Everyone has their choice of jobs. And pretty much my only plans for the future is that once I graduate high school, I'm gonna get my CDL. I'm gonna get my commercials driver license, and I'm gonna become a truck driver. That's all my plans. Graduate, become a truck driver, buy a house, boom, done. Just work, 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 and that's it. That's all that I really plan on doing. I don't plan on doing much. Okay, I really don't plan on doing much, but I mean that's how my life is gonna go. That's how I plan for my life to go. But now that we're getting pretty much close to the end of the podcast, because now I'm still waiting for the new webcam to come up, my new one, because this is a shitty one. It has fucking terrible quality. I mean it's really fucking trash. But I mean the equipment I have right now, it's not really at its best. But I think that right now, I think that I may end the podcast. And what I like to say is that if you enjoyed the first episode of the Randy Man's Hangout, leave a like, subscribe for more content. I'll be making more content sooner or later, but then I gotta make the material. I gotta know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about, because I can't just sit here for an hour trying to figure out what the fuck am I gonna say. Like I can't do that. I wanna have the material ready, and then know what I'm gonna say, and know how to try to keep y'all fucking entertained. I can't be much of a funny guy like Joe Rogan or Uncle Joey Coco Diaz, but I mean this is pretty much the start of it. Maybe over time I'll be improved, but right now it's a start. But like I said, if you enjoyed the podcast, the first episode of Randy Man's Hangout, if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. And that'll be it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. As of all, good day, good night, good afternoon, good morning, whichever time you're watching this. I hope you're having a good time, and peace out, y'all.